Hello everyone, welcome to the Cosmos Chat podcast again. I'm your host Viraj Bhardwaj, and today with me, our guest is Yoav Greenberg and the founder of Helix Space Corporation. First of all, I want him to introduce himself.
All right, hello everyone. Thank you, Viraj, for having me. So my name is Yoav Greenberg. I'm the CEO and founder of the Helix Space Organization. I'm 15 years old, and I live in Israel, but 3 years ago I moved from the United States of America. And I love playing sports. I love playing strategy games, but above everything, at least for the past few years, I loved science. I've really loved science, and I've been a science enthusiast who loves to investigate and research about many different scientific topics, from astrophysics, chemistry, engineering, whatever it may be. And for the past year or so, after joining a large sum of organizations, um, that range from topics like STEM and education. Those have always been my topics. After taking part in them, I learned something really, really important. Okay, I learned that it was time to start my own organization. It was time that I started an organization by myself, or not by myself, with my three founders, because I finally had enough experience in order to do that. So yeah, after a month of prep or so, I started Helix with my three good friends, Arn Bora, Isha, and Jasmeet. So at Helix, we love exploring the cosmos. We love exploring space and everything it has to offer. And we also devote our time to research it and the prominence of it while questioning everything it has to offer, ranging from all the stars to all the galaxies. And that's my introduction.
That was really awesome. And one thing I want to say about you that you are a real science, you can say science enthusiast, and you are working at many organizations, and I really appreciate it. And through this podcast, I will also, just praise and put all the organization forward to the public, like Helix Space, because these are the organizations which are the future of humanity, and these are the student leds. So we can't doubt on their passion. So first of all, I wanted to ask you that how you got your interest in space and astronomy, and what was your, we talked about it, but what was your main reason and what was your aim to start Helix Space Organization?
Okay, thank you. So it's a long story why I started Helix, but let's get into it. So before moving to Israel, as I said, I lived in the United States. I wanted to be a successful athlete or a professional athlete, and keep shooting for that goal because I didn't really have anything else for me. Intelligence wise, I wasn't the most smartest person, but I was fast and I did love playing sports. So right after the move, my entire mindset changed. Right after the move, I understood that I don't want to just be focused on sports because I knew that being a professional athlete here in Israel would be a huge change than in the US. So I decided to put my sports on the side and invest more of my time into science, space, and astronomy. And I believe that that was a good idea, and I believed at the time that sports were just a hobby, and that was right after I moved. And basically, that's what happened. I got interested in space and astronomy because of the move and because of the fact that I wanted to do more with my life, not just sports, but also researching about the universe and world that I live in. But, um, but I didn't want to talk about like specifically the topics of space and astronomy. So I became really fascinated by everything the universe has to offer. Okay, the stars, planets, extreme entities like black holes, nebulae, and so many more. Okay, and I started taking courses regarding astronomy and astrophysics, amongst other things, astrobiology as well. I took a few of those courses, and yeah, and at first I had no experience whatsoever. Okay, I had no experience, but I taught myself, and I taught myself more and more and more, and then it came to the point where, wow, I want to pursue in astrophysics and in space. So that's how I got my interest. it was some sort of self motivation that I was saying to myself, you need to do more with your life. You have to pursue in science because that is who you are. So that's what I did. And then after taking these courses and investing so much time, and I took hours off of school to study about space and the cosmos. And now here today, the CEO of the Helix Space Organization. So that's basically it. That's my story of why I got into space and astronomy specifically, and why I started Helix.
That's really great. And sometimes we have to put our hobbies at the side and to choose something that we really want. And that's the thing you did. You choose space and astronomy, and you started this organization, Helix Space, and which is really doing great. And I just want to wish you luck for your organization and for your future projects. So, like for starting anything new in the, we can say them, in the market, in the society, we face some problems, and you also, and I know that you also face some problems in starting this organization. And so I just want to know that what were these problems which you faced when working in the space and working in this field and starting this new organization, and also how you tackle them, and what you want to say to the new, we can say, the new space enthusiasts who wants to work with all these student-led organizations, especially with you.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. So before we talk about the problems I faced, I just want to say that, overcoming problems in life, or if it's STEM, if it's school, if it's work, we always have to be able to overcome our issues, because if we don't, then we're going to have more and more problems, which will push us deeper and deeper into despair. And we have to be able to solve those and be in the mindset and able to do that. So before I wanted to say, I just want to say that medication has been very, very good for me in that sort of aspect, to calm myself down and focus on my goals after every problem I've had. And I'll talk about those now. So over the course of a few months, which is when I started the Helix Space Organization, I faced many problems, but I was able to tackle and overcome every single one, because of that mindset that my team and I had, which is amazing from my standpoint. And so I'll share a few of those problems with you. So when I started Helix, I got comments from friends, families, and scientific peers, that I'm not experienced enough, or that I'm not old enough yet to start my own organization. And these comments obviously hurted, and they got to my heart in some way that, why can't my friends and my family trust what I'm doing? Why can't my family or my friends understand that this is what I want to do? But after a while, even although it hurt, and it slowed my progress, I'm true with myself with that. I realized quickly that whatever they said, or whatever they may say, it didn't matter, because as long as I believed in myself, as long as I trusted myself to work hard and pursue my time and energy into what I love, then I can achieve everything that I want to, if it's space, STEM, school, whatever it may be. So that was only one problem. So that's criticism, okay? Criticism from friends, from family, and from just the scientific community, because I'm not sure that, I was 14 years old at the time when I started Helix, and I just, people thought I was too young to pursue my time into that, and I proved them wrong, and we're here today, and it's going pretty well. So yeah, that's criticism, okay? And also, like, when you start an organization, the best place to start is reaching out to people that might be interested in the organization, okay? And that's what we did, okay? My team and we basically shared Helix on Instagram, LinkedIn, the New York Academy of Science discussion chats, because I am a member of the New York Academy of Science, so I have access to those chats. And we also messaged many famous astrophysicists that could possibly help us out. After doing that, we had some luck on Instagram and LinkedIn, but we didn't really have much luck anywhere else, and that made us mad. But we didn't really have any luck. It was a problem, but then we decided that although social media outreach is very, very crucial for any organization, it doesn't have to be space. It's social media is very crucial in the 21st century to start your business, startup, organization, whatever it may be. And we understood that it was important, but we should also try a different path. So we decided that although we were very new, or we still are very new, to make a website to get more outreach. And we had to make the website attractive enough. Although it was a pretty basic website, we wanted to make it attractive enough so that when people go to our website, they're like, wow, the work that they're gonna do is gonna be significant and they're gonna accomplish good things. And we want to join that team, the Helix team, in order to accomplish those goals. So we basically spread our website everywhere, also on social media with families and with family and friends, and it did work. And so while we were making the website, of course, we had problems, those extra problems regarding payments, domain names, and content. It did slow us down, as you know, problems do. Um, but in the end, everything worked out and we received applicants every single day for at least a few weeks. Um, and now we're editing our website a little bit more, which is great. So yeah, after everything slowed down for a little bit because we had some issues with the website, everything worked out in the end. And that's how we face our problems, people. We just have to take that problem and not look at the problem like, oh no, I'm gonna have this for the rest of my life. The business isn't gonna work because of this problem. No, we have to face the problem and say, problem, you are not for me, and I will solve you. So that's what we did at Helix. And of course, we still have those unresolved issues with outreach, interviewing, the website, but we'll figure it out as we always have in the past at Helix. Because at Helix, we're not just a team, we're trying to be a family. And so we have these connections with one another that set us apart a little bit from other organizations. And that's why we know that whatever happens, we'll be able to solve those problems together. So yeah. So after all the criticism and after all the issues regarding Helix, whatever it may be, now, in the future, or in the past, we figured out the problems, and we will figure them out anyways in the future, one by one, and we will still be able to succeed after resolving those problems. Because we will not let the effect that those problems had on us stay with us till the future. And so basically, we hope that Helix will be the best there can be. That's our goal. And although not many people may believe it, that's what we're trying to attempt. And there's many people that might not believe that any wannabe space organization can be successful and be the best, but we shoot for the stars, as we say in the space community. So that's basically that's the problems we faced and how we will tackle them, or how we have tackled them in the past and how we're going to tackle them in the future. And we'll keep tackling them until all of them are solved. And obviously, more problems come every single day, but we have to learn to resolve those problems, because if we don't, then we fail, and we do not want to fail. So that's my answer to that question.
You did a great job, I must say. Like your thoughts and the way you tackled them, because problems are with every organization. But just the thing is how we are going to tackle them, how we are going to resolve them. And you did a great job. Like I can imagine, I can assume you did a great job. And this organization is going to be very successful in the future. Like many organizations start per day, but the thing is that we need passion, and we need interest, and we need to to fight with all the problems we will face in that way of success. And if we are doing all these things, then an organization would get success. But uh, from your talks and from your your talks and all, I can assume that you managed all the things very well, and you are going to manage all the things in the same way in the future too. So now we can talk about, like, we talked about the problems you faced and how you started this organization. So now we can talk about, Like, what are the projects on which your organization is working currently? Like, don't tell. I know, because sometimes it is confidential and you can't tell some view. You can't tell the audience. But yes, if you have some projects that you can tell us, then tell the people, tell my audience, that will like that will give, because it will give the clear idea that on which projects you are working on, some of the fantastic topics, so some of the fantastic projects. So can I know that on which projects you are currently working on, and so also some of your future projects that you have thought of.
Okay, thank you. So I also want to just talk about what you said before. I totally agree with you what you said about facing our problems. And thank you for having so much passion in our organization. It means a lot. And yeah, so I'm gonna start talking about the projects that we're starting to do or that we want to do in the future as well. Obviously, like you said, there's some confidential information that us four founders have that we cannot give away, but I will try my best to share as much as I can with you. So, although we are a fairly new organization, 2 months old, we have started to conduct blogs and research regarding topics like astrobiology, astrophysics, cosmology, and more. And we upload these blogs onto our website, and we share them on social media as well. We make posts about each blog. We have like a group of blogs, and so we put on social media, if it's LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it may be. And aside from that, we have also started to make space-related NFTs, which are non-fungible tokens. Or another way to say that is that basically we're creating images. We're taking images of space and turning them into into these art images that sell on the digital market, that sell with a coin called cryptocurrency, right? Whatever the coin is Ethereum, but that's beside the point. And so we've been doing that as well. And our basic and yeah, like I said, our basic idea is I will take the images that our astrophotographer has taken, and we will turn them into beautiful art like pieces. And that's something that I think sets us apart from other organizations that are space related, because we're not just trying to focus on research and boring research about space and all of that. Like, blogs are important for us because we learn more and more and research more and more. And then once we have those blogs out, other organizations and other companies will see that we're worth the time, and they see that we have proof of work. So those are the blogs are on the side, and these NFTs are, maybe will be profitable, maybe they won't. But we're just trying to brainstorm so many ideas, and whatever works works, whatever doesn't. So if these NFTs work out, then they work out. If they don't, then they don't. But that's basically what we've been trying to do as well in the finance and marketing department. Which, obviously, since we don't have too many members now, that we haven't split into all the departments yet. But from the financial and marketing aspect, we have begun to invest our time in the NFTs as well. But obviously, it's not our main goal. So yeah, we have decided that we might want to take these NFTs to the next level. And I cannot share that information with you because that is currently confidential. So my apologies, but we cannot share that at this time. All right. So also, to be accepted into the Helix Space Organization, I'm going to talk a little bit about acceptance, interviewing, whatever it may be. To be accepted into the Helix Space Organization, we basically conduct an interview for each applicant, which is led by one of our founders, Aaron Bora. So in that interview, we asked a variety of psychological questions to see if that applicant is fit to join. And yeah, after about 60 or around 50 to 70 interviews, actually, we've only chosen around 4 to 5 new members, which, yeah, the percentage is low from interview to acceptance ratio, but it is low because at Helix, we want our foundation to be as strong as possible. We don't want to take 30, interview 60 people, and now we would have 60 members at the Helix Space Organization. For what? Why? Why would we have so many members if they're not quality? There is a sentence that I love. I love these 3 words. It's quality over quantity. Okay. So right now, we, as I said, we've conducted many interviews, but we only take the best of the best, or the elites, you could say. We only take the elites, at least for now, anyways, because we need our foundation to be as strong as possible. That's what we want for Helix. We want our foundation to be strong, and as we grow and advance as an organization, obviously we're going to keep that very strict and elite interviewing process, but and maybe over time it'll get less and less strict, but we want to be an elite organization, not another wannabe organization that will have 50 members but only have a few working ones. So that's our goal. Our goal is to be elite. And yeah, so although, like I said, the process is longer, okay? But although it's longer, it will make our organization more fundamentally stable and will be the beginning of our journey to success, because we're going to be different than these other organizations, and our success story will be, um, well, from what I understand, from what I believe that our organization is going to succeed, our success story is going to be very vast. Okay. So, but what about the future? Because I've been talking about what we're doing now. This is all stuff that we've been doing now. But let's talk a little bit about the future. Okay. So at Helix, we have been brainstorming about various ideas ranging from social media, cash flow, and projects. Like I said about social media before, with our social media posts and our website, cash flow, NFTs, online market, whatever it may be. We're going to invest our time in that as well as the projects. We haven't started projects yet, but I'll explain a little bit more about that later. So I'll explain each part. All right. For social media, we want to hire more professional and active graphic designers. Okay. And maybe a certain amount, someone or even a certain amount of people that are good at social media, because the members will, once we split into departments, once we split Helix into departments, which would be after we gain at least 20 members or 25 members, um, then not too many people will have time for social media and just the social media team, right? And as I said, we want to be an elite organization. Okay, that's one of our goals. Okay, and to be elite, we have every single department has to be working hard, and everyone has to be very professional in their field. And that's why they'd be chosen into that department. So we want more professional graphic designers and digital designers as well. So yeah, that's why, because we want everything to be professional in that department as well. And so that also, to be honest, so that we won't all have to worry about social media as much, because the graphic designers will have that handled. And this way, a few times a week, people will be able to enjoy our content and follow along with our progress while seeing our very professional posts many times a week. And that's going to give us more outreach as well, because more people in the space um, industry are going to be like, oh, wow, they're posting these nice posts. They're making a lot of progress. Let's research about them more. Let's maybe join them, maybe whatever it might be. Right. So that's regarding social media. Okay. So that's like our future goal. All right. And although, I'm going to keep talking about the future ideas or goals, but some of them may be far-fetched, some of them may be accurate. So we'll see. We always have to believe in ourselves and whatever we may do, and that we're reaching for the stars, like I said. So now about the cash flow. Okay. So our cash flow, like that idea is based on NFTs and marketing. All right. Pretty much based completely on NFTs and marketing. And we believe that after making more and more NFTs, again, the way is confidential, but after making them and profiting from them, we will be moving into a larger and larger market, hopefully. And we'll be able to have a large amount of cash flow, and then we'll be able to hire those social media graphic designers, depends if they want money or not. And we'll be able to, also, conduct interviews with maybe a professional astrophysicists that may want the money, but also in our physical projects, which we might do in the future. And I'll talk about that later. If the projects cost money, then we'll see. So that's basically the cash flow. Okay. And yeah, they also professional website builders, because we also want a more professional website and we want to keep advancing in every single aspect, and all the different work that we do. We want every single thing to be better and better and better and better until we reach that point where we know that we're succeeding. Okay. So All right. I do want to talk about the projects though, because I feel like that's important to tell you all about the future goals regarding projects. So, at the moment, we haven't been focusing on them because we've been focusing on social media, blogging, NFTs, and we also don't have enough members at the moment to start all these large projects because we need more people for that. But after gaining more and more elite members and splitting into departments, as I said, we will be able to conduct these projects. Okay, and if they're related, whatever they may be related to. Okay, so that's that. And yeah, so to conclude all of this, okay, we've been working on blogs, outreach, and cryptocurrency. While obviously is the only start. It's obviously the only start, only the start. Okay, but the start to Helix. But in the future, our goal is to conduct more technical and large projects related to scientific topics. Maybe an NFT campaign, whatever it may be. NFT, gain more and more elite members, departments, research, anything. We are all focused on achieving our goals whenever they may be, and we're going to brainstorm until we're successful and we have these constant things that we were able to work on. So those are the future goals. And look, I'm not gonna lie, my team members and I, the three founders as well, other three founders, we've always believed since we've started Helix that the future is now. Okay, the future is now, and we all have to believe that way because our futures, obviously, the future is, I can say it in a different way. It's in the future. If it's 5 years, 10 years from now, 2 weeks, 1 second, whatever it may be. But that's the future for most. But I believe that the future is now. And all we have to do to access that future is to pursue it, and everything will come into place. And the future will be ours today. Okay. And that's basically summing up our projects and our future projects.
So, you told almost everything about your future projects, and that's like it's really exciting. I must say that I'm really happy that someone in the world, like students, are working this much and have so much in their mind and working like just for science. I'm really happy for that. Like all the best for all of your future projects, and I hope you will succeed in it. Because if you will succeed in it, then it will it will do a great for the humanity. So we can say. And so now let's talk about another thing. So whenever we start any organization or just any initiative, any new project or something like that, we have a dream regarding it. Like we always we are humans, like it's in our nature that we before starting anything we just get get flowed in the dream. like we all have some dreams, regarding our projects, regarding our organization, or regarding ourselves too. And when I also started this podcast too, it was just I just thought that I will talk to exciting people like you. Will invite guests from all over the world just for the sake of science communication. But here's a spoiler for you all. Like, this podcast is not going to be podcast for much time, because it's going to be transformed into a new organization. Going like I can't tell you much about it, but just a spoiler for you all, that it's going to be transformed into an organization, not like we can say the research and all the typical organizations we have, but something that will work just for the sake of promoting science all over the world. I can't tell you much about it, but yes, you all will you all will be really happy to be involved with us. So now let's talk about your Helix Space Organization. Let's forget all the things. It was just a spoiler for you all. I just thought to mention it here. So what was your dream when you started this organization? Like, you are working greatly, and I can assume, and all the audience can also assume, that you have a clear idea of what you are going to do in the future. So, what are your dreams about it? Like, what do you want to achieve through this organization?
Hey, thank you. Yeah, that spoiler was very, very exciting for me as well. But all right, I'll talk about my dream for Helix because I feel like that's important. That we all have to dream, and as I keep repeating, shooting for the stars, which is always important for me. Shooting to the highest possible point, so that each milestone that we make will get better and better and more competitive, and it won't be just another random milestone. It'll be something up, like I can't show you all obviously because it's a video, but up here, that's where we want our milestones to be, and not down here. And I hope you can understand that. So here, yeah. So my dream for Helix is kind of complex because I have like many ideas, but it's complex, but it's also simple. Okay. Aside from us creating fantastic projects and spreading on social media, which are some of our the goals for Helix itself. My dream is that once we do grow, we won't just be another wannabe organization. Okay, and I've said this before in the podcast. It won't be just another organization. We want it to be an organization that once we become more and more elite and we spread more, people will remember us. Okay, people will search us up. They'll look at us and like, wow, I have to invest my time into looking about them and searching about them as well. Okay, so I want people to remember us. Okay, people around the world. That's not just in the space industry, but also around the globe. Okay, so I started Helix along with my three founders in order to make a difference. Okay. And obviously, I'm not taking full credit for anything. Okay. They did it. They started Helix just as much as me. Okay. So we all four work together. And yeah. So basically, we founded it to make a difference. Okay. To make a difference in space, and to show people that Helix is an organization that will make change in the space industry, no matter what it takes. Right. Like I said, we don't want to be a wannabe, and we don't want to be another wannabe or dictated organization that's ruled by the founders. Okay. We don't want anything to be ruled by anyone. In Helix, we are all equals, and we're just the leaders. Okay. So we have that sort of difference, and we want everyone to share what they have in their hearts at Helix, whatever they want to speak about. And as I said, we're a family at Helix. We're trying to be a family and connecting. So that's also another one of my goals is that we'll all connect, not just on an academic level, but also talking in our meetings, weekly meetings that we conduct, that you can also talk about various other things. Okay. So yeah, that's one of the things. So basically, every single person that has joined Helix is satisfied by what we have done. I'm not saying that right now. I'm saying that basically in the future, our goal is that every single person that joins Helix or has been a part of Helix will be satisfied with our work. Okay. So that's another one of our goals. Okay. And the goal is obviously, I'm going to repeat this because it's very important that our goal is to make a difference. Okay. For our members and for ourselves. And, for our members to be happy as well and pure with themselves, that after all the work that we have done, we grew, and that we grew together, that we were not bossing them around, that we were having a flow in the organization, that we understood each other, and that all of us can be pure with that, right? And that we grew together, not one by one, but as a team. And do I want us to make money, or even myself to make money? Of course. Of course I want me to make money and my team to make money. But the members and the progress that we make at Helix that aren't funded or don't make money are more important, and they come before any financial needs. Okay? And my partners and my members are the only factor that will fundamentally help the organization grow. And everything else is just another thing that we will accomplish together as a team, because an organization cannot work or will never work unless the entire team is working together. If there's one thing, one argument that sets us apart, it's all pretty much a fail, because you can't have an organization that that's members don't listen to one another or argue with one another all the time, and we can never settle on one final decision. So that's our goal as well. Okay, that's basically our goal. Okay, that once and then in the future people will know us, that everyone will have the experience that people have about being part of the Helix Space Organization, that they're satisfied with it, and that we understand that we're all equals. So that's basically my dream for Helix in the future, or dreams, plural.
So I must praise your dream. The things you said were really great, and this shows that you have a clear idea of what you are going in the future. We all have dreams, just we need the passion to to achieve them. So now
So this was the
let's end
fact.
the whole thing here, and I really enjoyed this talk with you. Um, you was your you was amazing, and your organization too. Like the things you were saying, it was really great. I really appreciate it. And through this podcast, I want to elaborate all these organizations all over the world working greatly for for the sake of just for the sake of feeding our curiosity. And you are like, your organization is that one which is going to achieve many things in the future. And this was a very special episode because in this we talked about future of space and humanity in detail. It was amazing. And also about your organization, we talked about how you got your interest in space and astronomy and how you started this organization. What were the problems you faced? Just talking about, I'm just giving you a recap. So then we talked about the problems and how you tackled it. And then we talked about your projects, future and present one too. And also we talked about your dream, like what are your dreams regarding this organization. And I also gave a spoiler, and this was a thing that was and I really appreciated. This was one of my best meets, just because how you explained all the things, and especially the future one, when where you gave your perspective, where you put forward your perspective in a really great way. Really, thank you so much for attending me, and I'm really happy to talk to you.
Thank you very much, Viraj, and thank you to the entire Cosmos chat. I was very glad to take part in this episode today, and hopefully we'll achieve everything we want to related to space in the future, and you will be able to achieve whatever you want in the future. And I really love this whole idea for the Cosmos chat, and I hope that I won't say too much because I don't know, but hopefully once it turns into an organization, you'll succeed in everything you want to do, and as well as Helix and everyone out there that relates to space. And I just want to say this one last thing. I want to say something important just before we finish, that we are the future, okay? And anyone who watches this podcast, I don't know who will, I don't know who won't, but whoever is watching or listening, please remember that you have the power to choose. Do you want do you want to play video games? Do you want to attend school and get good grades and go to university and do all of this stuff, just that? Or do you want to figure out more about who we are? More about who we are, what we're doing here, why we're here, when we got here, and all of these things. While doing the same things, you can play video games, you can do whatever you want. But the topic of space, I believe, is so important for us to all understand. So whoever's watching, whoever's fascinated by space, remember, you can do it. You can do whatever else you want. You can have your hobbies. You can play sports, like myself. You can play sports. You can do strategy games, whatever it may be. But you can also pursue in this, and you're able to do that. And never let anyone tell you that you're not old enough, that you're not experienced enough, that you don't understand enough. Because I've had those experiences, and they hurt for a second, but you don't take it to the heart, because once you do, then it's all over and you quit. And I did quit for a while, but then I got back to myself and I understood that there's no more of this. All right, no more letting other people decide my emotional status for me and what I'm doing. So remember, the world's in your hands. The world is in your hands. And that's just what I wanted to say, something very important for all of us to remember, that nothing can stop us, only ourselves. Okay. And So yeah, that was just to finalize everything. So thank you very much, Viraj. Once again, I was really glad to be on the podcast. Have a good day.
Have a good day to you too. It was really amazing. I must say that.